Hi and welcome. Thanks for joining us as we take this opportunity to look at how we can utilise Office 365 on our iPads. So let's get started with today's lesson. Okay, so here we can see our class that we've previously set up, and we're going to have a look now how we can utilise the assignment feature within that class to support our students. So assignments show up within the general channel rather than additional channels that you might create, and you can find it under the More tab where it will then highlight assignments. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on assignments. And if this is the first time that you've created an assignment within this class, you'll see this screen. If you've already created an assignment, you'll see previous assignments. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on Get Started. And then it's going to give me the option here to add a new assignment. So I'm going to tap plus, and we'll see that we have the option to add a new assignment. We can add a new quiz, but we can also take an existing assignment and repurpose it for a class. It could be that you teach multiple classes and you need to set the same assignment multiple times to different classes, or you might want to use it as a bit of a template in order to adapt things and just make some tweaks. The quiz feature actually links to forms, and we're going to look at using forms in Microsoft in a separate video. But just to know at this point, if I tapped on new quiz, it would take me to an option to be able to add in any of those forms and just have them live within Teams, which is a really nice feature. But we're going to look at the assignment section. So I'm going to tap on Start New Assignment. Now within this, these are all of the sections that you're going to want to fill in to make sure that your students know what it is they're being asked to do. So I'm going to enter a title for this. And then I'm going to add in the specific instructions that I want my students to do. Once I've added the information in, I can then add additional resources. So by clicking on here, it takes me to OneDrive, where I'm going to be able to add in any other documentation that I might have created previously. I could even add in videos, etc., to support my students. Next thing then is I want to add a rubric for this assignment. So I want my students to know what it is I'm expecting them to do throughout the assignment. Now this is really useful because it's going to help me as the educator in providing them detailed feedback later down the line. To do that, I tap on Add a Rubric, and you'll see here that the previous rubrics that I've made are stored here, so you can utilize them again, or you can just add in a new rubric or even upload a rubric that you might have created in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm just going to actually take one that I previously made just to help us out, just to show you what this looks like. So you'll see that I've given the title of the rubric here. I can give additional description, but the key thing here is that within the marking criteria, students are able to see what it is I'm marking and what it is that I'm looking for to get them the different levels of excellent, very good, good, satisfactory, or fail in this case. I'm also going to just turn on that I want points for this as well. So you could allocate points for each level, giving them an opportunity to score a certain amount of points. When you tap attach, you'll see that that adds in as a rubric to your work. And I'm actually going to say that I want this to be marked out of 100. You can then assign it to the students in your class. So it's going to assign to that class. And you can also choose which students. So it might be that not all of your students need to take this assignment. You might have specific assignments for specific groups of students in your class. So you can change that setting here from all students to specific students. And then finally, when is the assignment due and at what time is it due? Now it's quite useful here as well to note that the assignments can be posted immediately with late hand-ins allowed. You can edit that though and say that I don't want it to be scheduled to go out straight away. I actually want it to schedule at a specific time. Now, if you are planning your year ahead in advance, this is quite useful because you might not want to overload your students with a list of all the assignments that are due. You might want to schedule it to come out at specific times throughout the year. When you're done, you simply tap Assign, and that has created the assignment for you and sent that out to the students, because in my case, I've said that I want it to be live straight away. Now, if I go back to my class and tap in Assignments, you'll now see that that assignment has been assigned, and I can see all of this on the screen. I can also see over here that none of the 2 students that are in this class have actually handed in the work. So it's quite useful at a glance to be able to see what's happening within your assignments. If I go ahead and tap into the assignment itself, I can see the students that have not handed in the work. I can see that there is an option for me to provide feedback and also a score out of 100 because that was the score that I wanted to add in. I can also see it from the student's point of view and see this is what it looks like for them. So they have their instructions, they have access to the rubric, and also another nice feature that we'll look at in later videos, the immersive reader is optional within this page as well. So as I go through each one of these, if I mark them, my status will obviously change to that it's been handed in, it's been marked, and then feedback obviously will be given to the students. So again, I can just directly add that feedback into here, give them their score, and then that is going to develop the information in my grade center where I can see what has been done and achieved by my students. I'm feeling very generous, even though they haven't actually handed in the work. I'm just going to say that it's great work and it's 100, and I'm going to tap here to return that to the students. Here you can see that it's identified that I've now marked one assignment. I can see the feedback that's been given. I can see the score that's been given as well. So let's go back then to my grades section. So again, under general, under more, into grades. You'll see that I now have this assignment, my action inquiry assignment that I've set out for my students, and I can see the specific students and the work that they've done. And I can also, if the student had done any work, in this case, open the student's work and be able to see it. So everything is kept nice and neat within Teams, within my class, and gives me this really, really nice overview of what my students have done, what they've achieved. And as they work through and I add additional assignments, they will appear along here, giving me that nice visual view of what my students have achieved. So there we go. That's how we set assignments within Teams, how we use the marking function in Rubrics to give feedback, and how we can use the grades section to keep a track of our overall student progress.